that's enough of that crap. Welcome to Naked Zombie Paranormal Radio with your hosts, Brad Scott and Woodsy.
It is the 27th of June and you are listening to Naked Zombie. I am your host Brad Scott, and joining me in the cardboard box as usual is Mr. Wadsworth. Hello Wadsy, how are you mate?
Sir?
I'm good. I'm glad to see you made it into the studio tonight.
I must admit, 1 week off and I'm really impressed with what you've done with the cardboard box.
I have. Look, we have gone high tech, can't you tell?
We've got a bigger window.
We've got a bigger window, and we're not using the spaghetti tins from microphones. We actually get
to bake beans.
No. We actually have a proper microphone now, and it comes a lot clearer.
Well, that's up to the people to decide.
No matter our talent is. It's
Depends
okay.
whether they want to hear you clearly or not, or they just switch off.
They'd probably just switch off.
Yep.
Don't give them the option.
No.
Anyway, back to the show tonight. Now, tonight we have Adelaide Spirit Chasers. Look,
I'm really excited about this.
I know you are, because we are going to be talking. I said talking too. We're going to be talking to David Size, Marilyn
Yes.
Mansell, and Mick Mansell.
Very good.
Okay, now these are the guys from Adelaide Spirit Chasers, and they've been exploring the whole region and area for some time now. I mean, the group's fairly new, but they have presenting a lot of evidence, and they've sent me a lot of stuff, and they've been checking it out, and some of it is really interesting and cool. But before we get into talking to them, now I've got them waiting on the line now, but we're going to, like I said, we're going to ask questions and get right into the depth of Adelaide now.
Now, can people put questions to us to ask them? Or?
Yes, they can. They can go to the Facebook site and they can just drop us a message and stuff like that. We've got a few coming up now.
Right.
So we're going to ask them some questions during the night that people want to call in about, and we'll put some messages out there on Facebook for people to hear. But I have some other exciting news for you.
Other exciting news. I don't know if I can tame myself.
Look, we are going to have a special guest coming in the next couple of weeks to speak about the Pugwadji.
Pugwadji?
Pugwadji.
Is it a pub in Wadji?
Yes, no, it's not pub. Pugwadji is a American Indian native law creature that's a couple of feet tall and stuff like that. So we've got an expert coming and talk about that in the next few weeks. We also have.
Is this
coming
a
on,
myth, or is this a
sighting
thing?
The sighting things, a lot of things.
Thing?
Yeah, well, similar thing. It's okay. a lot of stuff coming through about the Pugwadji. It's going to be a very interesting show. But we'll be ringing this guy over in the States, and he's going to be telling us. We're also going to
get up at 2 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah, probably.
Oh,
but we do this for our listeners. We do it because we love you all.
Yes.
What I do, Peter just talks about horribly about you when we turn the mic off.
I'm sorry.
Yeah. So anyway, we've also got a.
Crayon and paint box in the corner.
Yeah, crayon and paper. No, what we do is we also have another guest coming in now. She was a practicing witch, and she's going to talk about the occult and witchcraft and some of the interesting stories behind that. Now, I'm really looking forward to it. No, it's not Samantha, and it's not Tabitha, and it's not Sabrina. Don't get your hopes up. I know you had a bit of a thing for her.
Yeah, I know. Show my age.
Yeah, you are too. Anyway, so we're going to have her coming in now. So next Sunday night, she's coming in to do the show. So she'll be in here. Actually, she's coming to the studio. She's coming to the box.
In here?
The cardboard box.
It's a bit crowded.
It will be a bit crowded. We should explain how big our cardboard box is. It's friggin' tiny. Anyway, so that's what we got.
Money.
We need money.
Someone buy a plasma TV, a big plasma TV, so we can get a big box.
Yeah, we need a bigger box. Yeah,
or maybe a fridge.
One
of those big double door fridges.
They'll do. Yeah, I like that. Yeah, like a pigeon pair thing happening.
Yeah. And you can have your box and I can have my box.
Well, but then we won't be able to sit next to each other and you can look longly into my eyes. Man crush. So anyway, also what we're doing is so people realise this. Look, we're also actually now on the website. If people go to the website, and if you are a business, we are actually starting to advertise different companies on the show. This is like any other commercial show, except it's privately owned by yours truly and Mr. Wadsworth.
For the people?
2 people at the moment, but what it is that if anyone wants an ad put out there,
for
the people, if anyone wants to put an ad out there, look, we can.
I just turned his hearing aid up. All right.
That wasn't my ear, mate. Leave my leg alone.
I enjoyed it.
Yeah, I can see the smirky look on your face going. That's that music again.
Oh yeah.
The sexy. But this is where we get back into hairy love. Anyway, we're getting totally off topic. But what we've got is we've now got advertising on the website. So if people wish to advertise, look, we're really cheap. We're talking really, really cheap because we don't.
He's cheap. I'm not, but he controls.
Yeah, I control it all. So we don't need a lot of money to keep us going, but we, in return,
Just enough to pay the rent.
just enough to pay the rent and keep it out there.
Get some more sticky tape on the box.
People want to advertise on the website, they can. If you're a paranormal group and you've got a thing coming up, like an event, please let us know. And like, we're cheap as chips when it comes to this sort of stuff.
Yep.
If you're a community group,
Minimum chips.
well, dinner chip, but we're cheap as chips. But if you're a
Minimum
community
chips.
group and you've got something coming up and you're community based, we're more than happy to put it out there for nothing.
Very much so.
Very much so. Look, we're very big with community. Look, we both come from community-based organisations outside of doing the show. So if you are a community group and you just want a bit of advertising for nothing, we're more than happy to help you out.
So we'll even write an ad for you.
We'll even have a bit of fun and do an ad for you.
Yep.
I'm sure you heard the horrors that I've written in the past, but they're going to get better. Now we've got the better equipment. So,
That'll make a difference. That'll make a big difference.
Yeah, like I said, we still got no talent.
No.
But what I'm saying is, folks, if you'd like to get in contact with us regarding if you want advertising, if you're a group that got an event coming up, please let us know. If you're a business and you want a bit of advertising out there, look, we do reach a lot of listeners,
And it's growing.
and it's growing rapidly all the time. Which we are getting swamped with emails and requests for the show. And eventually, in the next couple of months, we are actually going to be streaming live. We're in the process of sorting it out how we're going to stream live on the internet. So if you no, you'll be right.
You don't have to shave.
No,
Okay.
you'll be good. Anyway, so we're
That's
going to
good.
be streaming live on the internet. So this is a couple of months' time. We work out how we're going to do it properly. That you'll be able to, any time that we're on.
How to do it properly. I'll just come for the ride.
You just come for the ride.
Come for the
Otherwise,
ride.
Got to sort out. But anyway, so if someone needs to advertise on the website or anything like that, please get in contact go to www.brad-scott.com. If you listen to the show, you're already
talked over
there.
me then. He doesn't like me
I know.
saying that. He kept going.
Yeah, I'll bite me. So if you go to there and do it, well, I'm trying to do the business here, dude, and you keep interrupting me
Right.
with rubbish.
I'll sit.
Did you just zip it, dude?
Zip
So
it,
anyway,
okay.
this is
Right.
yeah. You're right. Yeah, have finished.
Okay. Yep. Sorry.
Awesome. Anyway,
Sorry.
stop it. Anyway, so this is what comes. Oh, please. Oh, gosh. Anyway, so we're going to try, and this is what we're going to do. So tonight, we were going to contact. We've got them waiting on the phone now. They're probably hung up on us.
If everyone listen to this, I'm definitely hung up on this.
Who
Who are these guys?
It's madness. Anyway, guys, so listen,
Son,
thank
got
you. I
them.
just want to say thank you to all our listeners who have contacted us, who have sent us emails, who have sent us messages via the Facebook page. Thank you so much.
Rude comments on your Facebook page.
Yeah, I don't worry about them. But listen, thank
They
you
were
to
me.
the people who have
me.
positive
I've got 10 million
experience.
profiles and I just keep putting messages on there.
Thank you, everybody. Anyway,
Yes, thank you.
We
Thank
are
you.
going to get started on the
That makes us
show,
feel wanted.
and we are going to make it happen. And waiting on the line.
We've had them on there for a long time.
And we haven't had them waiting a long time.
Yes, I'm
when we're
surprised they're
dribbling
still
on, and
there.
they're still there.
Yep.
I'd like to welcome David, Mick, and Marianne to Naked Zombie Paranormal Radio. G'day, guys. How are you?
How you doing, mate? We're great.
That's excellent. And I got David on the phone right now. And David, so over the last few weeks, mate, I mean, we've been keeping in regular contact over Facebook and that and stuff like that. And what basically intrigued me about your group was the evidence that you have actually started to produce when it comes to Adelaide. And this is what we need to tell listeners is, what are some of the key aspects to Adelaide as far as in haunts and the paranormal go?
Well, our favourite aspect of or favourite haunt, I'd call it, around Adelaide would be the Kapunda St John's Reformatory. That's our main place to go. We go out there on a regular basis, probably at least once a month. It's absolutely amazing out there. We can't get over the activity that's happening.
That's excellent. So this is where you emailed me through all the pictures and that. Is that correct? And we had a look at the other night and the photos and stuff like that. Now with the Kapunda, the cemetery itself. Now that's based around an old mining location, isn't it? The 70. I mean, that's where a young girl was seen roaming the grounds. She was sent there by the nuns because she was pregnant or out of wedlock. Is this correct? And this is what people have been seeing around that area.
Yes. Well. St John's Reformatory it's actually about 5 kilometres from Kapunda.
Yep.
Kapunda itself is built right on the mine. Like, the mine is right in Kapunda.
All right.
But yes, the girl that supposedly haunts the cemetery, that's just one of the many ghosts that supposedly haunts the cemetery. That's her name is Ruby Rose.
Oh, Ruby Rose. So is this the young girl, or is this just one of the girls that's seen roaming around there?
This is the girl everyone talks
Oh,
about.
okay.
So there's only the one?
Yes.
Okay.
No, not necessarily, sorry. My information's a little wrong there. There is another little girl, which we'll get onto later.
Yeah,
right.
A young McKillop. Sorry, what's her name? McCarthy. McCarthy family. Mary Ann will be talking about that with you guys.
Oh, okay. Excellent. Yep.
But Ruby Rose, she was taken there by the nuns because she was pregnant out of wedlock.
Yep.
She did have an abortion, but and a lot of people believe that one of the priests raped her out there and killed her himself. But that's not what happened. She actually died from a gallstone.
Oh, okay. So
the
the actual urban legend was that she was messed with a priest. She fell pregnant, or she fell, that whole story. But she actually died of just a medical condition.
Yes. Exactly.
Okay, and why do you think, and as a paranormal investigator, and this is what I like to ask, what makes people think that she is the one roaming the grounds? Because there would obviously have to be sightings of her over the years for people to come to that. Or is this through like someone with a clairvoyant or psychic mediumship nature? Have they the ones that said it, or there's actually photos or evidence of this girl walking around there?
I haven't seen any evidence, like hard evidence of her walking around there myself. But there is a lot of rumours about, because the actual reformatory has been knocked down now. Because it is on private property, and they knocked it down for public liability because so many people were going out to this place. But originally, the story was that you could see her walking holding a lantern in the windows of the reformatory.
Mm-hmm.
But I've never seen any hard evidence on it. But that's not to say that there's none out there either.
Okay, well that's very interesting.
Okay, so how long have you known this rumour or thing to be going around? I mean, is it a fairly recent discovery, or there's sightings of her going way back?
Oh, there's sightings of... It's been an urban legend of Kapunda and South Australia for as long as I've known about this for probably going on 20 years now. I've known about it. So it's been around a long time.
And when was it supposed to be? When was she supposed to have been taken there? What sort of date do we know?
I'm not sure herself, but there's a funny thing about this reformatory. That this reformatory closed down a long time ago, and the church itself normally would release the records of this because it's after so long a period. Yep. But about the reformatory, they won't release anything.
So the actual reformer itself won't release any sort of details, or because it's church orientated. Is that correct? Or will they technically? I think by the covenant.
I think there could have been some bad things happening out there to the girls personally, and this is why they won't release it. They won't even release who went to the reformatory.
So you actually can't get any sort of details whatsoever. Well, here's a point. There's something that we could probably help you out with, David. If you'd like to, at some stage during the night, email us contact details, and me and what's your name again? Woodsy. Yeah, sorry. She sits next to me, and I just lose all concentration. The way
basking in my glory.
Bite me, day boy. So what you can. What you can do, mate, you can actually bring us those details, and we can try and look it up for you. How does that sound as well?
Oh, that'd be great.
Yeah, that's fine. We'll talk about that a bit later on. Now, we've got some other things. So the Kapunda Cemetery. Sorry, what's it? Go for it.
Where is Kapunda located in relation to Adelaide?
It would have to be... it's about 30 minutes from northern suburbs of Adelaide.
Okay. So it's not that far away.
We're looking from Adelaide itself. It's probably an hour and a half.
Yeah.
Well, have they actually closed this area off, or can you still get in there? Because a lot of these places, even though ones that they've been demolished and that, still have the big gates up and stuff around it. Is it still public access, or you have to get permission to go in these places still?
No, it's still public access, and really you need permission to go up to where the reformatory once stood. But it is quite dangerous up there because there's over 100 unmarked graves where the reformatory stood, and
Really?
All the rubble has been left there from when they
Yep.
knocked it down. They haven't cleaned it up whatsoever.
Oh, okay. So they've still got all the rubble left around there. The buildings are still... Well, none of the buildings are there anymore, is it, though?
No.
Okay, what are some of the stories about this actual place? You're from that area, we're not. The stories about the Kapunda and the reformatory, what was some of the... I suppose you've looked in at actually what actually has happened there. What are some of the sickening acts that were performed? I mean, people have been around the paranormal field. I mean, this is choice places to go and investigate for some reason because, look, everyone's got a bit of a morbid side to them. They want to know.
They want to know the dirt.
They want to know the dirt about a place. They do. It's human nature to go in and find these places. That's half the fun of paranormal investigators, to go and checking these places out. Now, it's because of the stories.
Prove it wrong.
Prove it right. That's right. That's right, Watsy. It's what the people want to know is the stories behind it, because I remember doing places ourselves, and you went in there because it had a reputation or a history, or it had some macabre facts about it. Was there anything that stands out in your mind, David, that made this reformatory as bad as what people say?
Well, I think a lot of the women themselves, they were taken there, and in the long run, like the church used to do, I think they hid a lot of things that they did with the girls. Like they were, back in those days, they were bent on discipline, and the way they performed these disciplines, like we just don't know how they've done it. But I could say a lot of it wouldn't have been nice.
No.
And I think that would have been very traumatic for a lot of the girls, and being taken away from their families. Yeah, well, that's right. But being taken away from their families while they're pregnant, that would have just been like they would have been in hysterical. Like they would have just been so upset about it.
So is that where just this reformatory itself? Did they deal with anything else but teenage mums? Do they deal with the psych side of things? They deal with
sick people,
prisoners, like mentally disturbed prisoners, or anything like that? Was it like a communal thing, or was it solely for unwed single mums?
Well, it was only made as a girls' reformatory in about 1901, between 1897 and 1901. But before that, it was actually a school.
Okay.
So, like a Christian school. It was the church that everyone used for until they got the church built in Kapunda. And actually, when it changed to the reformatory, oversee the transformation into the reformatory.
Right. Okay.
No hard evidence on this. This is all urban legend. The whole lot of it is urban legend.
Okay, so it's all hearsay and stuff like that. But being an investigator like yourself and your team, that part of it is going to find out if these are actually true or not events. Is that correct?
Yes, exactly.
Okay, and that's going out and doing your homework, doing your research, and make sure you got all the answers for the people. Now, so how much time have you actually spent as a team checking these, like going through the history? And I do know that you guys do check your stuff. I mean, I do know at the end of the day, because I know you do go to the local library and stuff like that. How much information did you actually find there when you went to the library, researched all the information about the old reformatory? What sort of details were you given through there?
Well, the only fact that we can find is that there's like around how many girls were placed out there, which is around 120, by the way. Archbishops that helped transfer girls and stuff. Because when the reformatory closed down, a lot of the girls got transferred to the girls' reformatory in Borough.
Yep.
And it just tells us Archbishop O'Reilly, who helped out with that, and just dates of when it was built, which in also that was 1849, and it just says about the priests. Well, we can just find the priests which worked out there. Other than that, there is no hard facts of any like mistreatment out there or anything like that.
Okay, well that's good. Well, we're glad to hear it. Now, so now, what sort of paranormal activity was found? What paranormal activity has been found over the years, there, mate? Can you tell us, David, what you've found, what other teams have found, or anything?
Us ourselves, we had a very interesting night out there one night. We went out there. My partner, we were only new to this really at the time, but my partner was with me. She was pregnant with my daughter at the time.
Yep.
And we just went out there just for a look, and my partner got scratches across her belly.
Okay.
And the same night we seen a shadow person running around us. It was circling us.
Yep.
Right.
And we also seen a ghost ball, as you would put it, Brad.
Yes, I call them the funny things. I'm old.
Yes.
So basically, see a big ball of light just moving through the cemetery. Is that correct?
Yes.
Well, do you reckon it's more like a ghost ball light or a min light?
I would say probably more like a ghost ball.
The ghost ball. It's just for the people overseas, and I keep doing this because we have to, being Australian, and we have a lot of overseas listeners. A min light is a great Australian thing where it's a big ball of gassy substance that's very bright, and it has this rumour to follow you. Now, I remember my dad years ago when he was brought up on Macleay Island. He's brought out in the waters there, off bloody Redland Bay here, and that he's brought up on Macleay Island. There was a lot of swamp area back in those days. Dad's 60 odd now, but he remember telling me a story how he was riding his motorbike through the island and stuff, and literally this big ball of light come from the swamp and the river areas, and it gave the impression it was following him.
Had he been drinking?
Good chance, but I don't think so. I think he was about 10
Okay.
at the time. Typical bush kid. And a ghost ball is basically a lot smaller, and it seems like it's got a mind of its own, and it'll actually weave in. Now, basically, was this weaving in and out between the gravestones itself, mate, or what was it? Did it have like a set path?
It sat in one spot to start off with, and it was actually Mick. Mick goes to me, what is that? And I looked over, and it was sitting there for a little bit longer, and then it moved up and down, probably the height of, or would have probably been about 500 millimetres.
Yep.
About half a metre.
Half a metre,
and it moved up and down for a space of probably about 4 or 5 headstones.
Yep. How close was it to you?
It would have been probably 2 metres away.
Okay.
How big was it? In say in a circumference inches. How big in inches would it have been, mate, in size?
Inches. It probably would have been 12 inches.
That's fairly decent,
foot, yeah.
That's a foot.
Yeah.
That's fairly big. I mean, I've heard of them being, say, 1 or 2 inches.
Yeah.
And I've seen video of probably being a bit big around the 5, but never.
So is
a
this
foot, 12
a
inches.
spirit, or is it a?
Well, basically, I'll tell you what. Let the guys from Adelaide Spirit Chasers. I mean, I can't give all the answers away.
No,
I want to see what these guys have to say, and
Right. Well, we won't steal their thunder.
No, but please, mate, can you? So, what's your opinion on say like the ghost ball and stuff like that? Do you guys believe it's actually a spiritual entity, or is it something else?
Yeah, I believe it has got some spiritual energy in it. It's a hard thing to say though. Like when we first started investigating, for instance, like everyone else, and I'm sure you get the photos like we do, Brad, of orbs.
Yep.
You're one of your favourite subjects.
I've experienced his definition of an orb, and I'm still sweating, waiting for the swear words to come out.
Actually, while we're here, mate, we have got a question for you that's come through. Fangbanger. Yeah, that's the name. Fangbanger has asked. All right, what we've got here. Looking for. Hang on, I got to find the right one. They have different views too. Basically, she wants to know about orbs. Does she believe that the orbs are actually dust, or are they actually something more like spiritual or something like that? So that's from Fangbanger. She wants to know what your guys' viewpoint on orbs are, because she says down here, looking at some of Brad's, there are a lot of dust mites. Maybe he should clean his lenses more often. Ha. Thank you, Fangbanger. Appreciate it. So what do you think, mate? What's your opinion on that?
This is a group sort of thought, but we believe the majority of orbs are dust or moisture in the air.
Yep.
We on our Facebook page actually we have a photo we've taken in fog. Yep. In heavy fog, and it's hundreds of orbs.
Yep.
Okay. but at the same time, we've been looking into the aspect of maybe like orbs that have any colour in them. To us, we like the blue orbs.
Yep.
Light blue orbs, which is very similar to the ghost ball that we've seen.
Oh, so the ghost ball actually had a bit of colour to it as well. It wasn't like pure white.
The best way to describe it was a blue LED light.
Really?
The blue LED lights you get on torches.
Yeah.
That was the best way to describe the colour of it.
Oh, cool. All right, then. So you got this ball of light bobbing up and down. Now, did it actually make its way through the cemetery at all, or just sort of go up and down in one spot?
It actually moved for the space of about five gravestones moving like that up and down.
It's okay. Just a question on that. And the reason I'm asking so many questions about this particular item is I need to know: was it actually navigating its way through?
He was checking him out.
The tombstone could have been checking him out too. I mean, that happens. You know, was it actually like following? Was it like scooting around it, or was it over the top of him?
Weaving in and out.
Yeah.
It was just. It was only probably. It would have been. Maybe the height it was getting. It was probably only coming up to about 1 metre high.
So it's actually because some of those tombstones are a lot bigger than that. So it was actually making its way around. In other words.
Yes.
So it wasn't going through anything?
It was moving pretty much in a straight line, though.
Okay, I see what you mean. Okay, that's good. Okay, that's very interesting. Well, there you go. So we've got a ghost ball seen out there. We've got the girl that's been seen out there. Now, you said you saw shadow figures as well. Now, this shadow figure you said before, now it actually circled around you, didn't it?
Yes, it was running. It was running around us, and Marianne actually, after it sort of stopped running around us, it was standing to one corner of the grave with its arms, what looked like it had its arms crossed, staring at us.
So could you actually see any of the features of this? I mean, I know you don't really see features, but did you get the impression it was looking at you, or did you get the impression it didn't know you were there? Was it residual, do you think, or what was your view on that?
It knew we were there.
It knew you got that gut feeling that you knew you were there. Now, this is what I find interesting is I've never come across a shadow figure myself in a cemetery, and I like to hear what other people have to say about that, because look, if you listen to the show, please get in touch with us, because I personally haven't experienced it in buildings, yes, a few times.
Would it freak you out if you did?
In a cemetery, it would, to be seriously, because in my viewpoint is, and I'm not too sure what Spirit Seekers think about it, but my viewpoint is, and this is, why would you haunt a cemetery?
Because all your mates are there.
Not really. I mean, it could be our family members and stuff, but on a serious note, you think about it, why would you be somewhere where you still have that attachment to your body? Unless you're attached to an item or you're buried with something that keep you there, but why would you haunt a cemetery of all places? I mean, people go there to rest. I don't know. I'd love to hear people's thoughts on that. I could be totally way off base, but what's your opinion of that, David, anyway?
I agree with you 100%. But in the fact that this cemetery is right under where the reformatory stood, and I believe it has some sort of how do you call it, attachment to the reformatory.
Oh, okay.
So just know about this. The cemetery was after the reformatory?
At the same time?
Or at the same time?
Because actually originally it was just a church.
Okay.
It was just a church there. And
so the church would have had graves attached to it?
It got that big after a while. They actually nicknamed it Johnstown. It was that big. It had its own post office and everything.
Oh,
so
goodness me.
It was a small little town, really, just outside of Kapunda.
Yep.
So it was run by the priests and the nuns.
Okay, so it just sort of grew and grew and grew. It wasn't a step-by-step thing?
No.
No, okay.
Excellent. Okay, well, we've talked about Kapunda, right? So basically, saying in a nutshell, we've got to keep this moving. So Kapunda was, to you, a very cool place to go and check out, especially the cemetery. And I've seen some of the photos, and thank you for sending them in to us, mate. We always appreciate getting photos and information. We really do enjoy looking at it. Now, we're going to ask you some different questions. Some other areas that you may have some knowledge about. Are you happy for and you can swap in between yourselves, and we're happy to do that and speak to other members as well. So we want to ask about, well, you can ask a question. Right. You know one. You're quite curious about this. Here's got a question for you.
On our first show, which I'm sure you've listened to.
Yes.
Well, I did give you $10 to listen to it, so hopefully, yeah.
That's my pay. We had a Rosa ring up about a incident she had, or something at a motel in Mount Gambier.
Yes. I did hear about that.
You did hear about that? Do you know anything about that or that area, or?
No, I don't. I've as a kid, I spent a lot of time down that way, but I've never investigated the paranormal down that way. Or really, to be honest, I've never looked because it's quite a distance here from where we are.
Okay.
So we haven't had a chance to. We haven't even looked in that area. There's so many great places around Adelaide itself that we've only got to a couple of places here in Adelaide. So we haven't even had a chance to look at that.
Right. So, but I did read something that it is a fairly haunted area.
Yes, and the reason being for that, a lot of the Chinese and that come over for the gold rush. They all landed on the coast around that area and then walked across to Victoria for the gold rush.
Yep.
So it wouldn't surprise me. There's a lot of great history down that way.
So because we've got the old Norwood Primary School, we've got the Barossa Valley. I mean that was Sipel's Winery. I mean that was built in the early 1800s by Oscar Benno. Sipel, and you have to excuse me, stutter, it does come out occasionally. Who was said to have turned slightly insane, didn't he? Yeah, well, he did turn. Well, he went off the rails a bit after spending years of his private retreat, located behind a trophy cellar and all the. So he used to lock him away in his own room. So it was just a bit of a nut job. So, but I'm just curious. We could talk Kapunda, Adelaide. You heard anything about the old Norwood Primary School or the Barossa Valley? Just the winery there, or?
Well, the Barossa Valley itself, that's right somewhere where Kapunda's right on the edge of the Barossa.
Yeah.
So, and there is a lot of great places around the Barossa. I might just hand you over to Mick because he does. We don't know a lot about Shepherdsfield Winery.
Yeah,
but
right.
Mick himself, he used to actually work in vineyards a little bit, so he knows a little bit about Shepherdsfield. But we haven't actually got to do much research on that at all.
Yeah, g'day, Brad.
G'day, Mick. How are you? And I've got Wodsy with me, of course, as you know.
Yeah.
Now, Mick, you've got some interesting stories to tell about this region, mate. What can you tell us?
Oh, well, Shepherdsfield Winery, we worked out the vineyards around there for a while and that, and but just the stories you hear that Shepherdsfield Winery is supposed to be haunted. I think it's a woman that's supposed to walk around in there and around some of the vineyards around there.
Yep.
But they do tours through there.
They just do the winery tours, though, wouldn't they? Not ghost tours.
Actually, they do ghost tours through there.
Really? Well, that's something we should probably get in touch with them also. They've found out as well.
We've heard they don't allow cameras and things in there, though. So other wineries having a look at their inside of their winery.
No, I suppose not. Yeah. No, that's right.
But apparently they do ghost tours through there, and apparently there's a woman seen around one of the vineyards close by.
Yep.
At times, yeah.
Do you know what she's doing?
Just walking down through the vineyards, I've heard.
Okay.
So she's basically walking up and down through the vines themselves, mate. There's any stories of her being actually like a picker or something like that back in the day? Was she like died through snake bite or something?
We haven't done any research on Shepherdsfield really, just a few of the stories we've heard.
Oh, okay, no, that's cool.
About the place.
Yep.
But as you know, we're pretty new to it. And,
yeah, look, that's great. I mean, this is what it's all about. Is that every group, and I've always been a firm believer, and so is Wadger, that every group should have a voice. Yeah. And to tell their story and what they've done and what they do, because there could be somebody listening to this right now and go, well, I've got a problem and I need to contact a good group. You know what I mean? And while we're here, mate,
in the time we've been doing it, we've learned quite a bit, I guess, but we haven't really been to a lot of the haunted places as yet. Now we're starting to get a bit more popular. I guess we're going to have to.
Well, I think so, mate. I think that's on the cards. And what's one thing I'd like to say is this, and while you're here, Mick, you want to give your Facebook... Now, you guys haven't got a website up yet, have you?
No.
Okay. What I want to know is, where can people find you? Can you give us your details, please?
I'll hand you back to Dave for that. He's got all that information.
Oh, okay, great. No worries at all.
Oh, well, they can either go onto our Facebook page, Adelaide Spirit Chasers.
Yep.
Or they can email me.
Yep.
And the email is Dave O DAVEO 26 at hotmail.com.
So daveo26@hotmail.com.
Yes.
Excellent. So folks out there, if you're listening to this and you live in the Adelaide region and you want to have some people come out and check out your haunt, please get in touch with Dave. You can also look up Adelaide Spirit Chasers on Facebook. That's Adelaide Spirit Chasers. They've got quite an impressive web. We're looking at it now, actually.
Yeah.
You've done quite a bit of work, mate. Don't sell yourself short by any means. So you've got a lot of different bits pieces out there, and you've got a few followers now, which is fantastic. Now, Dave, just a quick question, mate. Now, with the equipment, what sort of equipment do you guys use? Do you use psychics or mediums, or do you like sort of using the electrical appliances, or what's the go with you guys?
Oh, yes, well, like Mick was just saying, we are relatively new to it,
Yep.
but we are gathering a lot of equipment at the moment, like EMF detectors and digital cameras, and we also just got a quite a good infrared video camera.
Excellent.
So, and we also use digital recorders, of course.
Mm-hmm. You're spending much time actually reviewing your evidence and stuff like that? Like, I know myself, I could spend days just looking at one bit of footage.
Oh yeah, we're the same. Like there is one video that I sent you not long ago, Brad.
That's right. Yeah, I saw that.
And like I still look at that because it just amazes me.
Well, that's what we might talk about that quickly, so people are aware about it. Actually, a little while ago, Dave sent me some video footage, and I love getting video footage as well. It's actually this ball of light, and they're checking out this person's house.
Yeah.
This ball of light's coming. And just imagine this, folks. It's coming out of a door.
Not around him and goes out.
No. It actually. It goes out of this door and then flies up into the ceiling and then disappears. I mean, that's the thing. It's not dust. You know what I mean? Because it actually has a flight pattern, and it's the weirdest thing I've seen. It's very quick.
Yeah.
But it's you can tell it's not. It actually comes out of a door. You know, a lot of these sort of dust orbs that you see them sort of float in and out of walls and stuff. Not this thing. It actually shoots out of this door and goes.
Open door, closed door.
Open door. Isn't that right, David? It was an open door, wasn't it?
Yes, it was an open door. It was actually
this thing shoots off up in the bloody ceiling. I mean, that was a great bit of footage. I love getting stuff like that.
Did Dave film that?
Yeah, Dave actually filmed it.
How did you feel when that happened, Dave?
Oh, actually, you could hear him on the. You could hear him on the video.
Oops, change your pants.
No, it wasn't brown underarm syndrome. Brown underpants syndrome. No, what it was, you actually hear David go, "What?"
Yeah.
He picked it up as it happened, which was really good. So, what was the story behind that, mate? I really quite enjoyed that bit of footage.
It was actually it was our first private investigation we've done of the house. They're having a few troubles in the house, so we went and checked it out for them. And to be honest, we weren't getting much at all. And we were ready to pack it all up. And next thing, we were just talking about packing up, and I turned around with the camera, and there this ball of light come out the door. It just amazed us.
That's amazing.
It is pretty good. Yeah. So listen, you guys, like I said, go check out Adelaide Spirit Chasers on Facebook. Now you've got that up on your Facebook site, haven't you, mate?
Yes.
The video.
No, the video that we'll be posting that very shortly.
Okay. Well, if you'd like to just let us know.
Stop looking then.
Yeah, you stop. He's sitting there looking at your website, and he's just having a great old time. He's not doing his job. Good thing I don't pay you, like I kept telling you. So you got that incident that happened in the house. Now, did you pick up any EVPs or anything like that yet? Have you experienced anything really cool with that?
To be honest, no, we haven't caught many EVPs at all. We have got one EVP from when we first started doing EVPs, really, out at Kapunda. Now we're not sure what it says, but I was actually doing a bit of provoking with the reverends out there, asking what they've done to the girls and whatnot out there. Mm-hmm. And I got a response. It was I can't clear it up quite properly. It's either rack off, back off, or something else along those lines.
Oh, I get you.
And,
yep.
Yes, and we're still learning in that aspect of things with the technology and whatnot. So programs.
Was it a female or male voice?
It was a male voice. It was really gravelly voice.
Okay.
All right. Do you reckon it might have been something like? Do you reckon it could have been someone from the reformatory that was actually? Was it talking to you, or did it sound like it was talking to somebody else?
I think it was talking to us.
Basically telling you to get out. In other words.
Yeah.
Cool. Now, what was? Did you actually? Was it an EVP, as an electronic voice phenomena, where you hear it later on of a disembodied voice? You know, when you hear it reviewing the evidence, or was it a VP? Was it a voice phenomenon where you actually heard it there and then?
No, it was an EVP. We didn't catch it until afterwards.
Check it out. Yeah. Have you ever experienced a VP there, Woodsy?
No.
You haven't experienced a VP?
No.
A voice phenomena?
Oh, your voice is pretty good though.
No, I've got my best radio voice on. I'll just explain to the listeners now. VP voice phenomena, right? I did an old mental asylum in Pairua in New Zealand there.
Yep.
And no word of a lie, the sound guy heard it, the camera guy heard it, I heard it. Dave,
this is live.
It wasn't live, we were filming though.
No, man, you heard the voice live.
We actually heard someone screaming. It was distant. It sounded like it was coming from inside but outside, if you know what I mean. We're in the middle of nowhere. There was no one else around. I mean, we literally had, because we were filming, we had security sort of there at the same time. There was no one else around. And literally, I swear, the sound guy was going to drop his equipment and take off because he went white as a sheet. And he just didn't know what to do.
Yeah.
The funny thing is, that night as well, the cameraman actually had because we were in shorts, he had his leg hairs were being pulled all the time. And you actually I'm not kidding.
Brad.
No, it wasn't me this time.
You
So I
sure?
didn't sneak up behind him at all. I was in front of the camera. But seriously, no, this is no word of lie. You could actually see his leg hairs moving.
Yeah.
It wasn't a breeze, but I know
No.
it sounds stupid, but it looked like someone grabbed his leg hairs and pulled it, but you couldn't see a hand.
Yeah.
And he was starting to freak out as well. I mean, this place was just phenomenal. You walked into one room and you felt sick as a dog, and you walked out again, you're fine. I did this about 4 times that night, and every time I walked into this one particular room, I got crook.
Yep.
And I had to get out pretty much straight away. Sorry, David, we're just talking about different aspects of it, mate. So, okay, getting back on subject, and I totally forgot my train of thought. I'm a great host.
You are.
What were we talking about? I had a mental
Something
block.
interesting.
Something interesting. Yes, it was.
What was it? Yeah,
Let David continue.
Sorry, David, please continue. I've gas-bagged enough.
We were talking about EVPs, Brad.
That's
right.
EVP.
EVPs and VPs,
talking
and you were
about
describing
VP. Yeah, I was just going
what
into
VPs
that.
were, and you went off on a tangent.
I'm good at going off tangents.
You are.
Oh, jeez, I'm terrible for it.
Yes.
Oh, no wonder I don't make any money out of this. Now, David, so we're talking about... So this EVP was basically saying to you, get out. Like,
Yes.
go
Exactly.
away, using expletives, inverted commas, so to speak. Now, I don't know whether a member of the clergy, even though he might have been very nice, would use that sort of language. I don't know. Do you reckon it was gravid? Now, have you guys experienced it when you go when your missus got scratched up, especially? What was her reaction to that?
Oh, that night, because again we were quite new to investigating, especially and new to the reformatory really at the time, investigating there. My partner, she was just in tears. She ran to the car. She was really freaking out, and it freaked a couple of our team members out. But Mick and myself, we were getting quite excited, to tell you the truth, and we wanted to hang around. But the girls being upset, we sort of had to go.
So basically, you're using your other half as bait. That's lovely,
Yeah,
isn't it? That's
we
like
were.
that Yowie guy we're talking about last week on the show where he left his missus out.
Missus out there, yeah. Did she
Yeah.
actually feel it being scratched, or it was just there?
Oh, she actually afterwards when we lifted her, the baby was turning locks and whatnot in her stomach, so she was in a bit of pain afterwards. But she didn't actually feel the scratch. But the same night as well, she leant down to do her shoelace up, and she got tugged on. Her jacket got tugged on, like something tried to pull her backwards as well. So she had quite a bad experience out there. So.
Yeah.
I take it, does she still go out with you and investigate?
No, our little one's turning 1 tomorrow, actually, and I'd just like to say
Congratulations, happy birthday to your daughter, mate.
Yeah,
It is a
happy
daughter.
birthday to young Shelby.
No worries, we'll pass that on.
Gives a chance of getting that right.
Yeah, I mean, how good is that? Ooh,
Yeah.
spooky, eh?
Yeah.
Now, is Marianne, sorry, I hope I pronounced that right, what has she encountered? I mean, females and males sometimes have different perspectives of the paranormal. Does anyone in your group come from the psychic or medium background, or is it all solely scientific? Because some groups use it and some groups don't. What's the go with you guys?
Yeah, well, we don't, but I mean, we've shown our photos to a psychic and that, and but that's pretty much as far as it's gone.
Yeah.
But Marianne, she actually herself, she actually sees a couple of kids out of the reformatory.
Well, we'd like to hear those. We'd like to hear those stories, mate, to see what her perception of actually was. So, Marianne.
Hello.
Hello, Marianne. How are you?
I'm fine.
Thank you for joining us tonight. No, look, much appreciated. Look, great stories, but what we're interested to find out as well, Marianne, is what we've been told when you've gone out to this reformatory, you've actually seen ghost children,
Yes.
Is that correct?
Yes, I have. I've seen two of the McCartney children. These children were killed in a fire in Franklin Harbour in the 30th December 1880.
Yep.
And they were transported to Kapunda by their father, and they were buried there. And yes, I do see two of the children there.
Now,
And
have
I
you
had
recognised
an
these?
image in my head, and
Yep.
so as soon as I got home, I had to draw them. So that's why I've been trying to find a photo of them.
That's what I was about to ask you, mate. So, are you positive these are the McCarthy children, was it?
Yeah, well, there's no other children there is children out there, but these
Yep.
ones I mainly see around near the headstone. Got a pretty big headstone. And
Actually, around the actual headstones
Around the
itself?
McCarthy headstones.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
So basically what you're saying, so when you saw this apparition now, was it a full-bodied apparition? Was it a half torso? Was it vaporous?
The girl I seen, she was standing, and the little boy, he was sitting on the ground.
Yeah.
And as soon as I got home, I had to draw them because I saw the images on my head of them. So yeah, that's what I've seen. I see them quite a bit. These two, just these two. But the rest I don't see. Yeah. So that's the first thing I do when I go to the reformatory is go straight down to the kids to see if anyone's around. And because I hang with myself and those two go off doing whatever. And I sit down near where the kids are buried. And that's to see if I get anything on the recorder.
You actually see the form of the kids, and
Do they get their facial features?
Facial features and-
Do you get all that? So you actually said you saw them and you drew their picture down. Is that correct?
Yep, that's right.
So you've drawn the picture down of the kids. And the reason I'm asking this is did you take that back through historical records to try and find photos of the kids to see if they match?
Yeah, that's what we've been trying to do. At the moment, we can't find any photos.
You can't find any photos of the kids
No.
whatsoever. So you've gone through the whole birth, deaths, and marriages, certificates, and all the rest of it that Australia has.
Well, we went to the library, and so they've only got a write up about the Franklin Harbour, what had happened at the fire, but there's no photos yet that we've found. And a guy turned up at the Kapunda library as well, and he was trying to find some photos for us as well. He looks after the reformatory. So he said he was going to try and find something as well, but he hasn't got back to us yet.
Okay, well, these things you always got to chase them up and chase them up and chase them up.
Yeah, that's right.
Now the MacArthur children. So you saw two of them.
Mm-hmm.
Now, can you tell us what did they actually were they wearing period clothing for that era, or were they wearing iPods and all the rest of it? I mean, that's all, no, I'm serious. I'm asking. I mean, I know it sounds a bit odd, but we need to know what sort of era they look like.
A old-fashioned hat.
Yep.
And like just a shirt, and the little girl was wearing an old-fashioned dress that they used to wear back then. And but she had her hair in two plaits.
Yep.
And because the boy was sitting on the ground, I couldn't tell what pants he had on, but I know that he had a shirt on, like a brown shirt, a dark shirt on, and with a collar on it.
Okay.
But he had a brown. I know he had a hat on, like an old-fashioned hat. And the little girl had just had her hair in two and was wearing a dress, like an old-fashioned dress that they used to wear back then. So you actually got to see
basically two full apparitions that went vaporous. As in, that means they were. Could you see through them? Were they solid? Were they? This is what we're trying to establish. Were they? Yep. If you know what I mean. Could you actually see through them a little bit, or?
Well, with the little girl, yes, but not with the boy, because he was sitting on the ground.
Yeah. Could you see anything behind the little boy? Was there you can see anything behind him, like through him?
Just a fence.
Oh, just a sense. So you didn't actually see them. You got like the mind's eye view of them. Is that correct?
Yeah. Because I had the image still in my head, I had to quickly put it down on a piece of paper as soon as I got home. Okay. So it was the mind's eye view of seeing. So basically, do you think you might be a bit on the old sensitive side there, Marianne? Have you actually looked into this further for yourself? I mean, that's what we've been doing, trying to find out about the McCartney family. With yourself, like other areas have you gone into? Have you actually experienced anything else
on a more spiritual level in that
else,
sense?
Well, I've seen like a bright light shooting across, and that's about. And I heard it was like a baby swing, which is up in the corner of the reformatory. You stand up there for a while, and you do hear like a squeaking noise. And
Okay,
that, and but
it's not just the wind blowing it, or...
Well, I've been told like it's a baby swing, and that's. But if you do stand there for a while, you do hear like a squeaking noise.
Oh, okay, yeah, okay. Because what we need to do is we basically need to break this down for our listeners because they need to get a visual like we do. So basically, what you're saying is you can hear a swing there's not actually swing there anymore. Is that correct?
No. No, you can just like hear a swing. Yeah. Well,
Okay,
first
yeah.
I thought they were just like it was just a tree, like them making the noise. But then they cleared out the part of the reformatory anyway.
Yep.
So they reckon you can still hear it, and that I've only heard it once since
Yep.
I've been out there. I haven't heard it again. Oh, that's why, because I mainly hang around where the McCartney family are.
Okay, so that's your main point because basically what you're saying is...
Yes, that's my main priority out there, yeah.
You sit... Now, have you actually tried to do an EVP session around where you saw the
Yes,
children?
I always do. Yes, every time I go out there, I always hang around the children on my own.
Yep.
And I've only got, like, laughing in one of them, and that's all I've gotten. So, yeah. Yeah, you actually like hear children laughing.
Have the children ever tried to interact with you, or have they noticed you, or...
Well, when I go down there on my own, I always try to talk to them, and see if anyone's around. I take a few photos, and once
that doesn't scare them off, or...
Yeah, well, I always sit down there by myself, and I have the EVP going and start talking, and so last time I didn't get nothing at all, but before that I did. And,
so how many times are you spending down there, Mary? And how many times are once a month, twice a month do you try and communicate with them?
Well, every time we go down there.
Which is every couple of weeks, every couple of months?
Yeah, every time we go down there, I always sit with the kids. So yeah, we've been there. Well, we went down there Saturday and 2 weeks ago, and so every time I go down there, I sit down in McCartney Children with the EVP going on my own. On that, and so because I'm not scared anymore down there. And so,
is it the family plot, or is it only the two McCarthy kids are the only two there?
Pardon?
Is it the family plot, or is it only the two McCarthy kids that were buried there?
The grandparents are buried there, and their father is buried there. Their mother and the 6 children that are buried there, but there's only like 2 I see.
Okay, right. So the family plot, they're buried on top. See
there's a 9-year-old I see and a 4-year-old that I see, and
the 4-year-old's the boy.
The rest I haven't seen at all yet.
All right, see, because I'll just explain to listeners. See, sometimes in like small cemeteries that they'll bury on top of each other, if you know what I mean, and you get to a stage where they actually have like a concrete slab up high, and then they sort of go up from there. Now with this, so we've talked a lot about the Kapunda, the cemetery, and the fact that now this young girl that you see, do you think she could be the girl that's seen roaming around, or she's just too young, you reckon? She's just not the same girl? Because we've got 2 girls now. We've got the one that was pregnant and supposedly died at the reformatory, and we've got the one now you're saying...
Well, this is a totally different girl, because this is
so
from
there's 2 different
McCartney
girls.
family. So the other one's a totally different girl.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Okay. So I wasn't too sure what her age was, if you know what I mean, whether she was like the...
Well, the ones I see are 9-year-old and 4-year-old. And
okay, 9-year, 4-year-old.
Okay, cool. Because she was pregnant and that. So,
all right. So you haven't experienced anything else as far as in paranormal nature walking around this cemetery at all? It's only those 2 good kids?
I got a full-on asthma attack, and I don't suffer from asthma.
Well, that's a problem.
Yeah.
It is. Seriously, it wasn't due to the...
We went into the trees. And I just had full-on asthma. I've never had asthma my whole life, and I had to lay on the ground to get my breath back. And that's the worst thing that's happened. Yeah, and plus being scared by night as well. I don't even suffer from asthma, and I got one. So
okay. Well, no, that's fair enough. I mean, it just wasn't the fact. It wasn't a change of seasons. You're under a tree, pollen, or anything like that could have caused it. Right, sorry about all the questions, Marion, because, I mean, these are questions I have to ask.
Yeah,
if you know what I mean. Just so we're trying to break down as much evidence as we can for the listener to actually go, oh, well, that's pretty cool, or that's what we think it is. But what I'd like to also say to our listeners, listen, if you guys also, if anyone else is from that area that has any other stories they'd like to share with us, please send them in to us. Because look, Wadsy's just a big fan on Adelaide when it comes to the paranormal. The guy
the dead,
loves
especially not the living, only the dead.
Only the dead. He digs the dead. He doesn't dig them up. He just digs them. Sorry, but that's just terrible. You're a terrible man. Anyway, so what we're going to do is listen. Thank you very much for that, Marianne. What we'll do is we'll put David on as well again now, just to finish up, because we've got about another 10 minutes to go tonight before we call it quits. Now, is there anything else you'd like to tell us about before we move on tonight?
Oh, thank you.
Good, mate. Okay, listen, Marianne just told some fantastic stories. I mean, and this is the thing, for someone to have personal experience like that, I always think is a good thing. I mean, unfortunately, it is a personal experience, and people are going to take it or leave it either way, if you know what I mean.
Yeah. And I'll just add something quickly if I can into her story. With the asthma attack that she had in the trees.
Yes?
Yes, well, originally, it actually happened to me. I had the asthma attack, and Mick, he's gone, no, there's nothing going on here. Because as soon as I walked out the trees, it stopped. So Mick goes, come on, we'll go back in the trees. And I went back in the trees, and it happened to me again. So Mick started to believe me.
This is good.
But what happened was, this only really happened bad. I got it bad once. It happened slightly a couple of times to me, but it would have been probably 2 months later it happened to Marianne. And she got the same experience.
Under the same tree?
In the exact same set of trees as the reformatory.
Oh, okay.
Wow. Moral of the story? Stay out of the tree.
Just stay away from trees.
Yeah.
Too.
Was there any light or anything in the tree, or any sign that something was different?
The weird thing about this set of trees is it might be calm as outside, but you walk into just this set of trees. It's only a small group of gum trees. And you walk into them, and every time, even if it's calm outside, it's very windy in these trees.
Yep.
Okay.
We find quite weird. And we have captured from up where the reformatory used to stand, we're on 2 separate cameras at the same time. We have caught a light in the trees.
A light in the trees?
Yes.
Well, you also actually, just on the lights there, I do know that the guys sent me through a photo. Remember the photo you sent through the other day, and it took me ages to have a look at, then I ended up stripping it apart?
Yes.
When I said you had a lens flare sitting over those 2 tombstones, but what was interesting, the fact that there was all these little balls of light around these 2 tombstones, but they were casting shadows. They were producing their own light.
The lights were casting shadows.
It's the weirdest thing I've ever seen. I showed you the opacity, I changed the hue and the saturation. And I sent it back. Actually, you can pick up all the balls of light, and they're yellow, white, and white. But this one particular one was sitting right over. It was actually white, and it was heat. If you know what I mean.
A solid massive.
Well, that's what I mean. Actually, light. That's what I mean. It actually produces shadow. So that photo we're talking about just now, though, which was really interesting to me, because we had a good chat about this the other night, is that this photo that you took, and these little balls, I wasn't interested in the big flash thing. I mean, lens flare happens no matter what you do. But these little ones that are around it, what can you tell us more about that location there, mate?
Again, that's out of the reformatory centre.
This reformatory sounds like the place to be.
It does, doesn't it?
Go and check it out sometime.
It is. The majority of our photos on our Facebook page are from the reformatory.
Yep. You also picked up a really weird mist thing too, didn't you?
Yes, and that mist thing, the one that you actually liked it on our page there, Brad.
Yes, I liked it.
You stole
that
it.
is actually in the set of trees where we had the asthma attack.
Really?
Okay.
That's
Yes.
Okay, so if people want to go and check out Adelaide Spirit Chasers, now you will find these photos on your Facebook site. That is correct.
Yes.
Excellent. So folks out there who listen to us tonight, if you jump on the Facebook
bombarded.
You guys are going to get bombarded, trust me on this. If you go and check out Adelaide Spirit Chasers, check out their photos, because there are some really, really interesting photos on there, and I'm sure the guys would love to hear some comments. I mean, but hey, we're all about being positive and being respectful to other groups and other beliefs, cultures and whatever. You know, I don't go for this whole bagging other people at all. So if you have a look at
me?
Yeah, you're different. I'll work with you. You deserve to be bagged. Yeah.
All right. Okay.
Put it bagged and put it in the wheelie bin. Bits of you anyway.
Okay.
Anyway, so guys, if you go and check out Adelaide Spirit Chasers, check out, they've got some really interesting photos on there. So please take the time, check it out, and look, and get in touch with the guys if you have a haunting you want it checked out, or you got a case you want looked at. I'm sure, David, you guys would be up for it, wouldn't you?
Yes, absolutely, and we do it free of charge, of course.
Oh, mate, I love it.
We do it for as much of our own interest and to help other people out too.
Yeah.
So.
Yep.
Have you had any cases yet where involved you needed to, because you said you did a private case a little while ago, and that's where you caught that light shooting off into the ceiling. Did you find that private cases are totally different to do than the open air or generic ones, if you know what I mean? You find that private is better or not as good?
Well, it's hard to say. Like we've really only just done the one private so far, but and we didn't get much evidence at all. But and comparing it to somewhere like the reformatory, it doesn't. It's nowhere near as good for us because we don't get as much evidence. Because the reformatory is just amazing.
All right, mate. Listen. We like to do this. We're coming up to the hour now. Listen, I'm sorry to cut you off like that, but we have to stick to time restraints. Listen, David, Mick, and Marianne, I'd just like to personally thank you from Naked Zombie Paranormal Radio, myself and Wadza here, for being guests on our show tonight.
It's been fantastic.
Mate, it's been very, very interesting. I must say. So thank you, guys.
I've stayed awake the whole time.
Which is really unusual.
Yes.
Many you just sit on the dozers, but that was a really good story. So listen, thanks a lot, guys. Listen, so what we're going to do is we're going to wrap it up now, and please do us a favour, jump on their website, their Facebook page, check it out, stuff like that.
Adelaide Spirit
I'm
Chasers.
sure we'll hear from them again,
I'm
and
sure
if they've got more stuff they want to put through, I'm sure they'll put it through, and
They
we'll
can
get
send
it
us
out.
an email.
They can send us an email or
With a
whatever.
question.
We do have emails. If you go to www.brad-scott.com, go to the contacts page.
See, I left it off then. I didn't say anything.
What I found funny was, if they go to the contacts page, you know what my mate did? He thought it'd be funny. He put Brad, the medium.
The medium Scott.
The guy designed my website.
As opposed to just average or
No, shouldn't have any. I don't know where that came from.
Okay.
He's just got a funny sense of humour.
He might think it's funny. You might think it's funny, but
no one else did.
No one else did.
Anyway, so guys, listen, thank you very much for listening to tonight's show. It's been absolutely fantastic. You've been a great audience as usual. You want to say anything in closing?
I'd just like to thank our guests again.
See us again. And listen, have a good night. Have a safe night. If you're going out investigating, be careful, enjoy yourselves, and we will see you and speak to you real soon.
And if you go out investigating, tell us.
Tell us. Okay. Night all.
Night.